All right. Hey, Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Chakodash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing this word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe in the gospel. And there's a couple of brothers from so like I'm trying to get this laptop set. A couple of brothers from the Great Millstone Houston camp. My brother Korah Abad, and as always, we got the beloved Brother Tazapah as well. And the Wadi Hawabah Shemel Shah for blessing us with another opportunity to come forth and bring forth prophecy, news, which this is going to be the main thing that everybody look forth to in these days that we in. People ain't going to care about social media no more like that. People ain't gonna care about what they call reality TV, which is not really reality. It's all fake and scripted. People ain't gonna care about your celebrities and rappers. Everybody go be focused on news. What's the answers? Why is war going on? Why is a famine? Why is hard times here? So we'll touch on a few things, man. Which it looked like we're in the beginning of Jacob's trouble, the beginning stages of Jacob's trouble, which we kind of been in it. Jacob, have been Esau been coming at starting with the northern kingdom, just like it happened before when we split back in the time of after King Solomon. It started with the northern kingdom first, and then the southern kingdom went into captivity. So we about to run it all the way up back again. Jacob, Jacob's trouble is here. So we got a few things we'll touch on. Other times of pop. You got anything? The floor is yours.
Yeah, I got that verse for you. This is Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So you got
Come,
it.
come, and that's it. It's the time of Jacob's trouble. It's not just one day. It's a time period. And we're in a time period to where life about to get hard for a lot of people,
That's
and
right.
not just in these times, but according to prophecy and which backs prophecy up and which shows prophecy is true for these times is that in ancient empires, past empires, what the main thing that led a lot of empires to revolt was them going hungry, man. That was a lot of empires downfall. People were starving, going hungry, tough times, getting tired of being taxed, and we seeing the same things play out right now. But we'll hop into this first one.
Yeah, the French Revolution, Marie Antoinette was famously quoted as saying, "Let them eat cake," and that got her put to death, as the history goes. But right, the people were starving, and so she made that out of touch, just careless statement, and then the people they lost it. She died that night. I forget the guy. I forget the king's name, but yeah, that was the French Revolution. But yeah, you got it.
Khan. So what happened to this? And Yahweh prophesied about events as these next two articles that we're gonna read. In Matthew 24. Um, Matter of fact, I get it real quick, but I read this first article. This is from MSN.com. It says woman accused of following and fatally shooting driver who honked at her at a green light. It says a moment of anger should not cost someone their life. And that's just to show you people are at their last. Like she from in the Northern Kingdom, Northern tribe, but the thing is, we really haven't even entered real hard times yet, like Jacob's trouble times yet. To where it's gonna be documented for in history. But people already losing their mind to in America, you don't know who already at their last. And if we may react to something, that's why Yahweh Shai said be wise as servants. We may react to something and that could be the person last straw, just like this one. It says a woman in Indianapolis has been charged with murder after allegedly shooting and killing a driver doing what prosecutors describe as a road rage incident. Now it's a 21-year-old Jake. Looked like he a Judite. Jake, but which could be all tribes, but a Judite. And it says Deborah Benefiel, 23, allegedly shot Kentrell Settles, 21, on October 17th around 2 p.m. after he honked at her for stopping at a green light at the intersection of West 38th Street and Georgetown Road. It says law enforcement says Benefiel then followed him, shouted at him, and fired at least one shot into his car on Donald Avenue, which is just over half a mile away from where Settles allegedly honked at her. And she then fled the scene, officials say. It says the bullet hit Settles' chest and he was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Come on, man. So you want to say something on that?
With a Bible name. Damn. And she looked high right there on the picture. And she probably wasn't in her right mind, just out there, but shit, that's judgment. That's judgment. That's what's going on out here in these streets. I got judgment going on out here in these streets. But yeah, you got it.
Can I get this real quick again? Yahweh prophesied about it. Matthew 24, and I'll get straight to the point. Verse 12, it says, right. And because iniquity, what's iniquity? Lawlessness. And we about to see what people already on the internet talking about, you want to take my, EBT? Before my children go broke like Jock, okay, we gonna steal. People talking about just out there, we about to commit all types of lawlessness. It says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And as brothers often go into, when you go into that word cold in the Greek, is psychos. So a lot of people about to turn psycho, lose their mind. Why? Because Gerald Celente said that when people have nothing else to lose, they lose it. The last thing to lose is the mind. And it's going to be all our survival. You was about to say something at the time, Paul?
Yep. No, I agree with you. But not only that, on the spiritual side, people are under the influence of Babylon. Under the demonic influence, all of these influences of Babylon, 5G influence, the demonic influence, the juice influence, the doctrine influence, left, right influence, all this Babylonian shit is bugging people out. All right. This is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 7. Babylon had been a golden cup in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. And we know from Revelation 17 that here in America, this is that whore that sitteth upon many waters. And the waters are the nations. All right. Kindreds and people in tongues, but all the nations are here in America. All right. So this is talking about worldwide, because this wine is gone global, but how much so right here in Babylon? All right. So yeah, people are under the influence of Babylon. They deranged, they bugged out, psychotic, suffering from neurosis, psychosis. Yeah, it's better leave these people alone. All right. But yeah, you got it out.
God.
But I mean, he didn't even do nothing. That's what I'm saying. She's sitting at a green light, probably bugged out of her mind, high as hell. Or stopping at a green light. Maybe she was on the phone. I don't know. But yeah, man, we got to get the fuck out of here. That's for sure. But go ahead.
That's it. Check this one out. From October 16th, a couple days ago, from End Time Headlines. 2 children, ages 9 and 10, charged with attempted murder. On YouTube now, you can't even say that word, the M word, but it says 2 children, ages 9 and 10, charged with attempted, this M word, and grape. in brutal attack on a 5-year-old. Let's read a little bit. The Lord sending down spirits of vengeance. He so it's hopping on all type of people. And you can't say
spirits of vengeance. Yeah.
You can't say, well, that's children. They ain't got no, they can't do no wrong. Remember, in the time of Sodom and Gomorrah, before the Lord sent down that fire, those who surrounded Lot's house, it says it was those old and young. Old and young was all with the wickedness. Not nowadays they call them YNs. You know that. You know,
was all down.
All the Edgars, all with it. So the thing is, you got little demons in these towns who follow NBA young boy. Come on, man. It says in the chilling, and you had a dude is on Instagram, and I'll get into it. We can move on. A little kid, you know, you had I guess I don't know how old Jake was. He was older. He was in a car. And you had some, you know, some young Judite children outside the car. And he was like, man, what y'all doing out here on the block, man? What y'all got going? And the little kid was like, man, I just want to be like my idol. And he said, who your idol? He said, King Von. That's to show you the mindset of little YNs right there. King Von is the idol. What did he do that motivate you to be great? Or come on, man. But that's the mind of our people. That's why the Lord got to send the judgment on Jacob before they get right. You about to say something, Quan?
No, you good. I was just saying, you know, that's horrible. Man, but that's it. You good.
Yep. It says in a chilling case. That's why the law. That's why the law is, man, perfect, because in our law, if you got a little child like that, oh, we got to get him out of here. It ain't no let him grow up, he gonna change, and then eventually say, well, he was just about to change his life. No, we are bring him to if he don't get right, we gonna bring him to the elders. We gonna stone him, and we gonna move on with life. See, the Lord, in our law, you ain't about to have no YN just running around our nation, man. It says in a chilling case that has horrified the community, 2 young children, a 9-year-old boy and a 10-year-old girl, have been charged with attempted MURDER and rape and felonious assault, kidnapping, and strangulation following a brutal attack on a 5-year-old girl last month. Prosecutors in Cuyahoga County announced that. Let me look that up. Let's see what that's at.
So the don't wickedness runs the gambit in Babylon. All right, and as soon as they can walk and talk, they getting into evil. That's how Babylon is set up. You know, it's sad. You know, especially for us. But yeah, you got it, brother.
Yep, it says Cleveland, Ohio. It says announced that charges on Wednesday describing the incident as one of the most disturbing assaults they have encountered. The attack unfolded on September 13th, 2025, when a young victim who had been dropped off at a family member's home by her mother, Antavia Kennebrew, stepped out the front door. What should have been an ordinary afternoon turned into a nightmare as the girl was allegedly set up by a group of children, including the 2 charged suspects. Police reports detail a savage beating that left the child scalped, bruised, and covered in blood, though further specifics remain withheld due to suspects' ages and the case sensitivity. So we're in those times again, the love of many gonna wax cold. Yahushua prophesied about this one. So we about to see people really lose their mind. That's why it's been terms thrown out into the earth like crash out, you know, and you know, demon time.
Yeah, demon time, all of that shit. Yeah,
that's why, because that's the time the Lord about to have people on. But you got us, Quan.
Yeah, no, I was just saying that. Yeah, that demon time. That's the zeitgeist for them. You know, that's what cause they in their own world. But we know, you know, we know what's really going on. Prophecy is fueling all this, as you just mentioned. All right, this is judgment. Yahushua prophesied this. You read it out of Matthew 24, what is 13?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah, something like that. Let me see. I can find it.
24:12. Yeah, you just read it, but yeah, you got it.
Now that's it. So we can move on to the next topic. Again, it's an open forum. So this was put out today, October 23rd, from naturalnews.com. And it's from the section of civil unrest. And we about to see a whole lot of that in these times, which is according to prophecy. It says ICE promises more arrests of illegal aliens in New York City. But here's the catch. It says, but risk unlawfully detaining American citizens. And that's what it's eventually going to come to. Like man of Tyler Power, mentioned it, quickly, mentioned before the lesson started. They just letting you know it, kind of throwing it out there. Well, this was no, they're gonna do it. We will do it. And that's the beauty of prophecy. You have to do it. You gonna start grabbing up just in the American because it's in the scriptures, man.
Man, yeah.
It said, It says, what happens when a sanctuary city becomes a refuge for criminal activity and the very agencies tasked with the public safety are accused of becoming a threat? The streets of New York City has become a battleground, not just for counterfeit goods, but for the soul of American justice. A recent immigration and customs enforcement raid on Canal Street has ripped open a festering wound, revealing a complex web of criminal aliens, violent protests, and American citizens caught in a dragnet with no clear answers. It says ICE promises more arrests. A critical question hangs in the air: is this a necessary surgical strike against the dangerous criminals, or the beginning of lawless overreach that tramples the right of every citizen? And you know what this is? What just happened in Chicago? Right. They talking about they was going after Trim de Aragua. If they understand it right, we going after them. We a Northern Kingdom gang. Yeah, we going after them. We thought they was there, in the apartments, and but we ain't really find nothing on them. But who they took up? They grabbed up Northern Kingdom, and it was said that the people was like, man, what's up with the kids? They said, man, F them kids. Laugh, we ain't got time. We F them kids. But they just did that to show you we can do this. And Trump, as we'll play a little video here after this, they don't care about rights. Second Esdras 15 gonna say they don't care about the legislation, the old way of doing things. We ain't in that season no more.
Yep.
People talk, I know my rights. What rights? What rights? Come on, man. But you got it.
Yeah, and everything is coming into focus now. We can see the play. And as you read, right, just a little while ago, it mentioned sanctuary cities. And that's why that was the setup. The sanctuary city was the setup. And when you look at them, New York, where you got Eric Adams, Chicago, where you got that guy Johnson, what's the mayor of Chicago? I forget his name. It's something Johnson. To some extent here in Houston, all right. And you got ain't Sylvester Turner still up in there, but all these blue cities that was the setup, man. And where Jake, with the Jake, with the Jake leadership, that fake ass, leader, these fake ass niggas, governors, and they set the people up. They set Jake up. Oh, the what? It was Brad, or was it
Brandon?
Brandon. Okay, I was thinking Brad, and I didn't want to throw that out there. So Brandon. Okay, yeah, and yeah, they set us up, but and all on the West Coast, they gonna go through the West Coast from LA up to Portland and shit. Or San Diego up to Portland and all up there, Seattle and all of that. That's mostly blue. But man, yeah, that's the setup. You got it out. You got it, and now we see it. And now this is I also want to bring this up. That during the pandemic, they allowed it, and I knew that. I said they setting y'all up. And they were letting them YNs just loot, smash and grab and doing all that. They was off the chain during the pandeezy. All right. And so, yeah, here we are now. They're talking about, and they just allowed it, by the way. They just allowed all that crime, and now it's a problem. You know, right? That's Hegelian dialectic. And we see the play. And it's funny, it's through the spirit, the Most High have us give you the play by play. And it's documented. With us, through these Thursday lives, you can go back before they shut it all down and see what we see through the Holy Spirit, not to big us up.
God.
But go ahead,
God, that's it. We about to play a video here in a few that Dabu 7 just dropped maybe an hour ago, but I'll read this real quick. So it says, the collateral damage, Americans detained due to process denied. Now we know what just happened in Chicago. Again, they just blamed it on going after a Northern Kingdom gang that they thought was stationed there. And if you listen to Elder Malcolm a video, he said impossible. In other words, for a gang to be stationed in that area, so to speak, in the middle of two other, established, so to speak, organizations, street organizations. But it says, anyway, Esau used that to show, look, we can just say this. And the thing is, who said nothing? What happened to it then? Who said anything? Is it on the news? Anybody getting sued? Jake ain't got no money to sue nobody. So it's like, what's going to happen? Nothing going to happen. It says the collateral damage, Americans detained and due process denied. While the focus was on arresting criminal aliens, the operation's fallout tells a more troubling story. 4 American citizens were swept up in an enforcement action held at federal facility for nearly a full day. You know what this reminds me of? Revelation 2:10. Yahweh Shai said, fear none of those things that thou. Let's get that real quick. Fear none.
I got you. Go ahead.
But we in those times, man. We in those times, we may have brothers who may be legal. You born here, your family born here, you may be swept up. Who knows how long you gonna be in there? It may be 10. So you see, your house shot could have been right for the 10-day thing, right? But it ain't. I ain't saying that's just 10 days, but whoever know how long, how many days. Or we probably have brothers who may be illegal, so to speak, according to Esau standards. So we in those serious times like that, man. But I'll read just a little more, Zaquan, if you don't mind, and we can get that.
Okay, go ahead.
It says 4 American citizens were swept up in the enforcement action held at a federal facility for nearly a full day, according to Democratic Congressman Dan Goldman. Their release came only after he announced a press conference to decry their detention. It says their families, fearing the worst, have filed a missing persons report with the NYPD. And these you got it?
I also call this, because you just mentioned Trinde Agua, it might be Agua, but I said that they might be using Hamas and them, not Hamas, but these cartels, like Hamas. But yeah, like you just read, shit, that's what they doing in Chicago. Because you was reading about last week that, allegedly they giving these cartel members drone instructions. Why? And Trump allegedly is bombing drug boats down in the Caribbean coming from Venezuela, allegedly. None of this shit adds up as they narrated. But right, we have to extrapolate through the spirit And yeah, how just I'll make this quick point. All the drugs in America are CIA drugs. You're not doing shit with fucking with a cartel. That's some bullshit about them bombing boats for is they running drugs. CIA run the drugs and they run this goddamn country. So yeah, they not gonna mess up their money. It's something else going on. But right, they gonna use these cartels as a pretext to come into, just like you just said. You know, oh, we're looking for the cartel, and come all up in your neighborhood and in your homes. You know, just like over in Israel, they doing everything on behalf of looking for Hamas, bombing schools and hospitals and libraries, because we got to get Hamas. Yeah, and we called this years ago. You know, the same shit you seeing play out all over the world is coming to America, and
Right.
here it is. The roosters are, well, the chickens have come home to roost. But you got it, Doc.
And it is funny. Esau, he got to go, send
Yeah,
troops.
yeah,
He always
he
looking
is
for
funny
somebody.
though. He is funny. But go ahead, my bad. I ain't.
Yeah, now you good. You good. Always looking for somebody. Just, come on, man. But
Yeah, Bin Laden,
right.
Hamas, them Houthis. We got to get the Houthis and the Blowfish. They got to get everybody.
And then
But
he
go
ran.
ahead, I, you got
He just said terrorism. Just
right. That's a broad blanket statement, ambiguous statement that give them free reign to do whatever. Just like the war on drugs brought so much destruction to the black neighborhoods back in the 80s, and it never, from the 80s, it never gotten better. But you got it out.
kind of. I read a little bit more, and we can get that precept. We could move on. It says this
All right.
incident raises a dark and uncomfortable question. If if this is the stated protocol for targeted intelligence driven operations, so the thing is, if you can have citizens getting grabbed up, and it's supposed to be the highest intelligence to spot people and target people, it says, what safeguards are in place to protect the innocent? The very foundation of American liberty is the guarantee of due process. It says, and when U.S. citizens can be detained for a day without charge, simply for being present during a federal operation, that foundation begin to crack. And that's the time when they Esau, but and look, we'll play a video next. Trump about to start sending more troops out across America. But you got it, Zaquan.
All right. This is Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil, all right, Esau, Edom, shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Yeah, you got it, brother.
Yeah, that's it. So Yahweh Shai prophesied about that too. At the time will come, we may get grabbed up for a day, like we just read in the article, 2 days, up to 10 days or more. But he said, be prepared for these times. He warned us already. But I'll play this. So this from W7, he posted this maybe an hour ago. It says, Civil War, ? Trump to establish National Guard Response Force for mass civil unrest by April 2026. And keep this in mind. Not just that he already have troops here in so-called blue states because of crime, but look what's about to happen with the EBT situation, the Section 8 situations. Look what's about to happen with benefits. People really, they talking about, we about to, again, I thought it was not funny as in, I thought she was funny for that. She's just stupid for what niggas be saying. Like, you think you just gonna go steal and that's gonna make your situation better. Now, you're gonna get arrested, probably get beat, and then your child about to get taken from you. Where before I go broke like Jock, saying the verse, the rap song verse, which if you need EBT, I mean, not to say that, clear, because shit, a lot of weak shit we got, but the thing is how they complaining, like, who gonna take care of me now? If you got it like that, why you complaining? You don't, come on, man. And they send it like, you know, they get millions taken from. No, it's not that. And they so entitled. That's why it's pissing me off about
Entitlement.
entitled.
Right.
They so entitled, you know.
I spoke on that too. That's right.
Entitled, man.
Not
That's
here, but on the lesson like Tuesday, I did. Go ahead.
now that's it. You got it. I ain't mean to, you know, but
No, I didn't have nothing. But right,
and
that
I go ahead and play it.
entitlement it do piss you off, especially this woman. She made a good point on the video I was watching right before we came on. Yes, she was talking about how was the Section 8. How you had families been on there for 3-4 generations. You know, at least 2, some of them 3 generations been on Section 8. But she was like, "You ain't no need of crying. You know, you got the money to go get the BBLs and all of this and that and take these vacations like y'all been doing. Will pay your bills." And she was absolutely right. And I didn't think about that aspect. But yeah, the black woman is an economy to herself. Black women, just the money that they waste, which that's exactly what feminism or women's liberation was for, what it was designed to do, what did Rockefeller say? So we could tax all the household. Or instead of just, the man, we could tax the man and the woman. And just imagine if all of the money that they spend on weave, makeup, the vacations, BBLs, whatever, cosmetics and whatever, if that was in our households. But that would be too much like right, But this is what they suffer from. And they will never look at their own actions to say, I put myself here. And that's when you said entitlement, right? They'll never take accountability and say, it's my fault for this. I got myself here. They're going to get to hooping and hollering, and that nigga black culture syndrome going to kick in, and the nigga going to come out, and the nigga going to get judged. Mm-hmm. And that's what's getting ready to happen. But go ahead.
So again, it's a video Dabu just posted up. It says Silver Wall, Trump to establish National Guard response force for mass civil unrest by 2026.
Hey guys, Dabu7. We got this memo that's been unearthed showing the Trump administration is preparing to mobilize National Guard troops across the country and they have them ready by April of 2026. This is raising a lot of eyebrows. People are saying, what are they expecting? They say this is to stop potential uprisings like the No Kings protest, which wasn't nothing like BLM, and it seemed like most of those people were packed up and out of there by dark. The ICE protest really catching a lot of the action here, and they're focused on that as well. But they won this lawsuit because at first they said that they couldn't send troops up into Portland, but now the Ninth Circuit allowing President Trump to deploy Oregon National Guard troops to Portland, and they said that he lawfully exercised his authority. Now, in a separate case, this is all going down around Chicago, and they're rolling out this plan here to combat all the chaos and the protests, and it seems like they're expecting something massive to happen here. We've got people that are in the military saying that this is not normal. Their exact words are, they have never seen an order like this before, ever. And that they hope it's just to be used as a precautionary measure, but not really actually rolled out in a real scenario. Well, I'm here to tell you, they're going to use this in a real scenario. What they're saying here is that these units of up to 500 troops per little unit will be trained to fully deploy within 24 hours in case some kind of a riot or something breaks loose.
What Jake talking about? they're going to still, they're going
Yeah,
to still. I'm gonna feel my. We'll play a couple of little videos. We'll let them say it. What you about to say, Zaquan?
yeah. No, I just said yeah.
Uh-huh.
Gone.
Yep.
They say that the states will have to train and equip these groups and have them ready to go by April.
And I just want to make sure, because this could seem old, like, well, yeah, we already know Trump, been sent out troops, yeah, to Chicago. No, this is not that. This is recent. He's sending they planning on sending more out to all the states, just in case kind of thing. So now put the EBT, the Section 8 all into that.
And what that does,
2026.
what that does, legally, it cancels the governor's power to enact the guard. So whoever, I guess, what would we employ? Because the governor can employ the guard because he is the one. The guards are for each state. Each state have their own, guard. So the governor can invoke them to protect the citizen, which that's what they're there for. But if the president invokes them, and then it's a done deal. That then there's no, power to resist this tyranny. So that's interesting what he's saying. But go ahead, play the rest of it.
That the states will have to train and equip these groups and have them ready to go by April 2026, and that they're required in all 53 states and territories.
And I want to cut it out no more. When they say training ready to go by April 2020, they're not just going to start it up. They got to start it up now, and it's going to be done by then. Like Esau said, the 2030 agenda. They ain't going to start the digital infrastructure at 2030. No, they're going to finish it by then.
Yeah, they say the agenda 4. I mean, they want it by that time. Right. For 2030. But yeah, you got it.
That they're required in all 53 states and territories. So these groups are going to train for civil disturbances, and they're going to deploy approximately 25% of their force within 8 hours, 50% of the force within 12 hours, and a full response within 24 hours. So these units are going to be spread across the country. They're going to be called upon whenever he so chooses to send wherever he wants. Again, the National Guard troops can be used by Trump in this manner, but if a state uses the troops first, up to this point, they had the call. But now with this whole new memo being pushed out here with this National Guard...
I didn't know he was going to say that.
Spirit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Response force. Things are shifting. This is a slippery slope. Join me for the live stream.
Here we go.
Go back a little bit. Go back a little bit.
Done.
A full response within 24 hours, 50% of the force within 12 hours, and a full response within 24 hours. So these units are going to be spread across the country. They're going to be called upon whenever he so chooses to send wherever he wants. Again, the National Guard troops can be used by Trump in this manner, but if a state uses the troops first, up to this point, they had the call. But now with this whole new memo being pushed out here with this National Guard response force, things are shifting. This is a slippery slope. Join me for the live stream. Going live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, talking about this in a whole lot more in greater detail. I hope to see you guys there.
Yeah, sound like Psalm 17 to me. Most High coming with the heavy hand on the left. Yeah, he ain't, because see, the governors could have had the guard to protect the people from ICE and all of that. Now it's off the table, it seems like. So yeah, it's coming. It's coming down the hatch.
Mm-hmm.
So let me read this right quick.
Let
me read this. All right. Psalms 17, verse 13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him. Cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. All right. And that's Esau, Edom. So, and as you see, this says the wicked, which is thy sword. If you see what's going on, ICE about to be National Guard as well. All right. And these mercenary groups, all right, of Edom, of the nation of Edom, which are the wicked. But as you see how they move, that's the Most High wielding his sword on the left-hand side with the heavy hand. He coming with the heavy hand. All right. That means it's about to be cruel, unmerciful, just brutal. It's going to get bad. All right. But verse 14 says, from men which are thy hand. Right. The Most High is wielding these Edomites. He's wielding the wicked. All right. Yeah. From men of the world, which have their portion in this life, whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure, they are full of children and leave the rest of their substance to their babes. And this is talking about Esau, Edom. But we know from Job that they're about to give up their substance. All right. So all this is coming to an end. Them leaving the substance for their babes, we about to get that substance. But you got it. The point being is this is our judgment. ICE. So if you think, oh, you can mount an attack, try it. If you think you're going to resist this, go right ahead. All right? Because this is the hand of the Most High at work. All right? And the right hand is coming with salvation, but before that salvation comes, he's going to hit you with that one. But you got it out.
Con.
Most High going to get real busy in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And the thing is, the Lord bringing judgment to light, and Jake still ain't. They
clueless.
Yep.
These niggas clueless, but you got it.
No, but one page that even shows Jake still don't. The Lord bringing judgment to the people who the gospel for. And you show they don't, what one page showed that our people don't appreciate it. Elder Manasseh Zagba. Jake, the main ones talk about the truth, or the camps, or they need to get. They tired of these saying, okay, well, now the Lord got to judge y'all because y'all still don't get it. Y'all don't get it.
Yep.
But we'll play a couple clips. We ain't gonna be long with these first two, but I want to play one video. We'll kind of let them speak a little bit. I know Elder Ariala kind of featured it in his lesson, so we'll play that. But let's play this a little bit. This is the brother from Mississippi. His name slipped my mind right now. GMS dedication. It says, "Ye American women that are at ease. The food stamp program could run out of money in just 2 weeks. 42 million people at risk of losing benefits amid government shutdown."
So as you guys know, Trump is trying to cut food stamps as in like November 1st, which is in a couple weeks, the day after Halloween. We may see the effects of that instantly, but I know by December 1st, we will be in full-blown panic. This country will be in full-blown panic by December 1st. That means the holidays are technically canceled. He is technically canceling Thanksgiving and Christmas because of this, because people are not going to be able to afford food on all sides, because no matter what Republicans say, there are Republicans on food stamps. There are right-wingers on food stamps. They don't like to admit that they are on food stamps, but they are on food stamps. These government or Democrat-ran programs such as food stamps, WIC, are also helping those that do not talk about the issues. They are about to realize how real politics are, because he is going to strip government-funded programs from people that look like them too. Now, once this happens, I need you to understand what it looks like when people are hungry in a country. I don't think you've ever had to realize what it looks like since we've had food stamps for so long. People have been able to feed their kids. When people are not able to feed their fucking kids, people are going to rob, steal for their children.
I'm gonna skip over this precept. We're gonna get in a few. This is one of our other house precepts, Elder Tyler Potter. 2 Esdras 15 in the GNT.
Yeah, come. Yeah.
I just play a little, you know. Let's see. Jump over. I'm sure everybody's seen that one already.
The fuck out. And I'm gonna have one of my cousins with me that'll punch your ass so hard you gonna think a jet too hard.
Yeah, sure.
Watch this. It's okay.
Y'all, they just took my food stamps. Oh my gosh. I can't even begin to tell y'all how frustrated I am. But more importantly, what am I gonna do? Now, I told y'all something was a little iffy, and that we have to get our ducks in a row, y'all. We have to get our ducks in a row, because guess what? Now I gotta figure out myself, but that's cool. The whole thing is they're doing food stamp reductions. Now, did I think it was gonna be me? No, I didn't. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I really didn't. But here we are. So for all y'all thinking that I just be BSing and this is not going on, this is going on. You can Google it. Google Trump administration food stamps and see what you. Anyway, like, how did I make the list of who to reduce? Talk about you don't meet the eligibility requirements anymore. That's crazy. What?
Hold on, let me play this other one real quick. So this is the one that Elder Ariala featured on his, and it's a little more info. At least it ain't just people complaining. That's just wanted to show that, to give an outlook on how, if people feeling they ready to steal, they're ready to take it, that they stressing, they ain't even hit it yet. They're just telling you it's about to come. And we know it's they're gonna take it. Is according to prophecy, man. 2 Esdras 15, and the main point we always read it. It says, driven by famine and terrible times. That's the main point. Hunger and hard times. Hunger and hard times. People gonna lose it. Troops gonna come. It's gonna be shutdowns because of hunger and hard times. That's the main things people gonna lose it for. Hunger and hard times, man. On top of losing jobs. Prices going up. Anyway, let's play this. It's from Yak Moley a day ago. He posted this. Elder Ariala played. I'll post Elder Ariala video in the chat while this one playing, but it says food stamps and SNAP benefits vanishing. What you need to know about EBT cuts in 2025. So let's go ahead and play. Let me know if you got something else, Quan.
Yeah, come.
Which is set to be, the funding is set to be cut off next month. Just one of these. Look at these prices, y'all. $44. This is how much do you guys know how long it takes to go through a can of this? Like, this is crazy. Look at this little can, and certain babies need specific types of milk. This is $61 for one container. $52, you guys. $60. This is why we need the WIC program, you guys. There is no way possible that these women are going to be able to afford this milk. That is ridiculous. They are for failure.
We're going to talk about this. SNAP benefits, food stamps. It's all about the change. Everything's about the change. It's going to be very interesting. Come November, things are changing. I want to know what you got to think about this. Comments down below. There is a whole new process going in. SNAP, EBT, food stamps. And we're going to watch some of these videos and go see what people got to say about it. Because there's a lot going on. It's some really things. I mean, they shut down a store the other day because of the riots. Let's get to it.
Donald Trump just fucked up. Like, why would you take away these people benefits? We literally just had to go home because everybody came into my grocery store. I work at Walmart. Everybody came into Walmart bum rushing, stealing, like filling up buggies, running out the store, like just putting all the groceries in their cart because he want to cut off motherfucking food stamps.
Just an FYI, they were just told it was gonna happen. It haven't happened yet.
Y'all, this shit is crazy. Like, I think y'all are getting y'all food stamps in November, or maybe some of y'all is not, but like they literally just had to like do emergency evacuation at our store because everybody came in going crazy over like food for their kids and shit. And I'm not gonna hold y'all. Isn't this the same orange dude that y'all voted for to be in presidency? Like, isn't this the same dude, the same Lorax man y'all voted for? Like, y'all, this shit crazy. They literally had to like evacuate all of the employees at my job to the back because everybody came in stealing. Everybody said fuck Christmas, fuck holidays. Like, we finna just take everything out this bitch. Like, this shit is crazy.
Since they want to take food stamps away, I'm going to Walmart. I'm going to rack up any damn Walmart, throw that shit right in the basket. I'm coming right about that bitch. Move, get the fuck out of my way. I'm not paying for a damn thing. Y'all got me fucked up. I ain't getting a food stamp on EBT. Oh, watch this. Watch this. I'm about to, it's about to be some bullshit. It about to be some shit. I'm about to go in that bitch masked up, you hear me? Masked up, racking every damn thing up off the damn shelf, throwing that shit in the basket, walking clean about it.
Straight up like this. I just got that text that the link is definitely cut the fuck off for November.
Since they want to play with us. Cause why the fuck would you take food stamps knowing Thanksgiving next month and we gotta eat? Knowing we love
local community. I don't know if that's the answer. The true answer is to go start calling your politicians. But the military is the one that is getting hurt the most. They're the ones not being able to pay their light bills, pay their house notes, their car payments. Trust me, I was there when they shut it down. And we had to go and give food to the young soldiers' families because they didn't have money to buy it because politicians didn't pay them. They should not have to suffer.
Did the Lord
because
say that was an abomination? Or that was just, how was that worded? You know, a soldier that suffered poverty, you know. I forget how it's worded, but it's no way that they shouldn't be eating, you know, in the military. But, you know, this is Babylon. But yeah, I thought about that scripture. I'm not sure where it is though. But you got it.
I'm trying to find it. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I forget if he said that was an abomination or if the Lord was just saying that shouldn't be, but
want something that make them mad or something like that.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. You see it, brother posted it, brother probably.
Yeah, I know brothers sharp, brothers,
right.
Sharp brothers know the exact precept that the Elder Taza Pot talking about a soldier suffering. You know how the Lord somehow the Lord may not like it or it's an abomination. Something like that. Baba Kashab.
That'd be in Sirach somewhere.
It sounds like something in Sirach or some King Solomon to say Proverbs or something. But I think you're right though, Sirach.
Yeah, I think the brother just posted it.
Let me see. And Shalom Tala Akim Akwatu tuning in. Y'all watching my shop rock a thumb.
Yeah, grieve his heart. Okay. Yeah, man. Shit, bring it out.
Yep. Sirach 26 and 28. There be two things that grieve my heart, and the third maketh me angry. A man of war that suffereth poverty, and men
That's
of
horrible. Go ahead.
and men of understanding that are not set by, and one that returneth from righteousness to sin. The Lord prepareth such a one for the sword.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the water for that. That's your Howard. Yeah.
Shalom to the Elder Tazaria, brother Asma. Shalom to y'all.
Yeah, come Shalom, Zaquani.
Shabbat.
Well, Zaquan.
Brother Barrow. Brother Virgin Knowledge. Brother. But yeah, let's finish this video because I want to get to is a dude who looked like older Edomite, and he said some good stuff, and that's going to lead us right in that 2 Ezra 15. I'm gonna jump up a little bit.
He just sent out a nationwide notice saying that
this not him, is the next person.
Every state that participates in SNAP is not to dispense any SNAP funds November 1st. Like literally a direct notice to not dispense any SNAP. So whatever you got now, you hold on to it. If you just received it, buy smart, buy rice, buy beans, anything that's shelf stable. Whatever you get with your benefits this month needs to be shelf stable. That is top priority. Get in touch with your local pantries, because I know that I am. That's for God sure.
November 1st, they're going to cut off SNAP benefits. This is going to have major effect on all of us, guys, not just the people who are losing their benefits. Because you need to think, all these people who are losing the ability to buy food when the economy is already in the gutter and things are already at just ridiculous pricing.
The prices just keep going up and up. He's correct. And they're going to continue to go up. We're in the great melt up right now. I've talked about this for years. We are at the situation right now where we're going to look up next year, things are going to be 10% more. I'm going to show in another video about how some of these Walmart price tags are changing every morning. What if the price tomorrow was 30 cents more than it is today? $1 more than it is today? Quarter more than it is today? Would you just go out and binge purchase? It's coming. I'm going to show you.
How do you think that they're going to survive? What's next? Theft? They're going to have to start stealing food, which means prices are going to raise, which means they will lock things up, which means we might be in martial law a lot sooner than we thought. Because when they have to start controlling the food centers, the Walmarts, martial law, that's when bread lines and everything will start. Okay. When the food centers are no longer secure, that's when your lockdowns will really begin. And when you take the SNAP benefits away from all these people who already have nowhere else to turn, what do you think is going to be the result of this? These people are going to get into survival mode here soon. Whether they come to the stores and start rioting and ransacking the shelves in the stores, or they start coming to your cupboards, they're going to come looking for food here soon, because that's survival. Guys, this isn't good. This isn't good. And I hope that you guys are having discussions within your community about how to take care of one another. This economy is in the gutter. It's done. And they're going to flip the switch here soon. All right? They're lining up all the dominoes and they're knocking them down. And unless you are a billionaire, you are going to be affected by this. You are going to have a lifestyle change. We're talking about a financial reset, a world currency reset. This isn't
message
done.
In my opinion,
that's it. That's it.
That's what it's about.
That's it. You got it.
No, that's it. That's what it's about. Yep.
Yeah, he hit it. He hit it. So the thing is that that's where we at right now. We to that point. We to that very point right now to where people about to lose it. And it's Bible prophecy. I want to get this real quick. 2 Ezra 15. Because it say that when hard times come and people go hungry, that's when it's gonna come. Real quick, this 2 Ezra chapter 15, I'm gonna start at verse 14 in the GNT. It says the world, and if you want to add on, advertiser power shit at any time.
God.
Second Esdras 15 and 14, it says the world and you know what's so cool about this chapter? It say the world right here. So people could say, man, that's like ancient prophecy or that's old. When you really start at the top of this chapter, the Lord include America in this. He include America in this judgment. This is end time prophecy in Second Esdras 15. And he start off saying it's just like the flood. He had enough. Now he about to judge. He about to send down judgment. He has been going too far. And then in verse 10, he was going into America. Verse 10, my people are led to the flock, Salakia. My people are led to the slaughter like a flock of sheep. They will no longer have to live in Egypt. Now, this is the GNT. And then New Egypt, the Egypt right here is talking about this new Egypt, Revelation 11 and 8. It's not the old Egypt. It says, and I will use all my strength and power to bring them out of that land and will bring disasters upon the Egyptians as I did earlier, showing it's a separate Egypt. He about to judge America, the new one, Revelation 11 and 8.
That's right.
That great city, which is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. But he said, just like I did in the previous one, as I did before, as earlier, I'm going to do this same one. But this is the difference. It says, and I will destroy their country. America going to be destroyed. So even in 2 Esdras 15, the Lord is calling out America. Just to show this the Lord pinpoint the times that we are in right now. So America, after we read everything we read now, got to do it. All this is in here. 2 Esdras 15 and 14 in the GNT. It says the world and the people in it are doomed, including America. It says the war that will bring their destruction is very near. What's that? World War III. It's like we reading the script to the movie that we in. It's cold, man. You know, yep. It says the war that will bring their destruction is very near. Nations will arm themselves and fight against other nations. And there will be great political turmoil with one group trying to overpower another and gain control while ignoring the legitimate government. You want to speak on that, Taza? You want me to keep reading?
Yep. No, I mean, shit, like we broke it down last week. It's going to be a breakdown of order, you know, at some point, whether orchestrated or, well, at point, it's just going to be real, just straight up chaos. But yeah, what that scripture is going into is anarchy, all right? Mm-hmm. And, you know, just a total ignorance of law and order and the rule of law. All right, but yeah, you got it.
Yep, it says, and so at the time that we in, because it's, you know, the right versus the left, and
right.
America verse and small hats verse, you know, the Palestinians and Russia and Ukraine. So it's divisions everywhere. The EU and NATO ain't really agreeing with America because how they back in Israel. So it's all kind of political turmoil. So at the same time we seeing all that going on, verse 17. And what Trump doing, what we just seen right here, he's sending troops, right? It says, verse 17, and there at the same time all this will be happening. We literally reading the script. It says, and there will no longer be free access to the cities. Why? Because troops gonna be here. Let's read why. Because times will get horrible because of what? It says, so like I'm being all animated. It says there will no longer be free access to the cities because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live, driven by. I want to stop there real quick. Advertiser Pop, if you don't mind. I went to ChatGPT and I typed in, what does driven by mean? Just to see, because it says there will no longer be free access to the cities. That's one thing. It says because the struggle for power going to bring destruction. That's two. Terror and total confusion wherever people live, driven by. So it's going to be something that's going to cause lockdown to the cities, destruction, terror, and total confusion. ChatGPT, I said, what does driven by mean? It says the phrase driven by means motivated, caused, or powered by something. It's used to explain what influences or pushes something to happen. Here are a few examples with the meaning. He's driven by money. his main motivation or reason for what he does is money. Just wanted to hit that, right? Let's read it again. Because again, what's about to happen with the food, the times we're in, and this could linger on. But another thing, I'm gonna say this real quick, and we can get back to it, and we can really end it, Elder Taza Pop. But another video I was watching, it says even it may be a month or so, even in January. Say if it do come back on, the next thing that could happen is like a cyber attack or some like. When the times gonna be multiple things, but they've been talking about a cyber attack happening or a system got to go off. You know, this could be a clear thing to give them incentives that you got to get the digital ID with the digital money. Man, this could be so many ways Esau could take it right now. Right? Yep. So Exodus 15 says, in 17 GNT, there will no longer be free access to the cities because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live, driven by famine, hunger. That's the first one. And terrible sufferings. Section 8, no more. Health, the benefits, no more. Terror. We seeing this, man. This could be some of the main causes, driven by famine and terrible sufferings. And people, because of it, Jake said they was gonna steal. So they was prophesying. Driving, it says, driven by famine and terrible sufferings, and people will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions. We're in that time. So, you know, that's it. Though. Sure. You had something?
This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. Right. And what's the proof of that? You know, the EBT being shut off, and people don't have the money to buy the groceries. Now they know something is going on. But as long as the EBT was flowing, you know, they didn't really care what it cost. They would complain, but it ain't coming out their pockets, you know. But now when the teats are drying up, pursuing Isaiah 32 and 9, 10, 11. All right. Now people are getting some understanding now. All right. And that's what it tell you, right? You got to take away these big back women, they food. Then they start to get some understanding. But right, that's what the scripture is saying. Behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. All right. So they thought it was all good when the food was there, the money was coming in, and then they could eat. You know, they didn't have a worry in the world. It says, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. All right. And that's where we at. And that famine is also going to coerce people to get that MOTB. Mm-hmm. And that hunger is going to be that's going to be that temptation that's going to drive them to get that MOTB.
Cause it.
As the brother just read. You know, he was going in, the scriptures was going into the the criminality, the chaos, but that's also that same famine is going to drive them to get the MOTB. Yep. Or people to get MOTBs. And that's what the setup is, as the video was just explaining. They offline to get this. When they come back online, it'll be digital. They offline they need to let the chaos brew a little bit, but they getting it, the finishing touches set up. All right. So when they come back, your EBT gonna be in your arm, in your hand, on your forehead. So they're gonna make it convenient for you lazy motherfuckers. All right. And you can go on and get your cancer and your putrid sores and all that with it, until the Lord take you off this planet and out of your miserable life. All right. because y'all done set up here and y'all done let Esau destroy you. Really, you know, you 2/3 niggas destroyed yourself. All right, because Yahweh Shah made it clear he came that we might have life and have it more abundant. All right. You know, saying all you niggas sitting here complaining, you was the same niggas complaining at the Lord. All right. And now your judgment is coming. Just desserts, all right, that's the flavor of the day. Just desserts. All right. And you got it,
No, that's it. That's it. And I even I put in the chat, but ask ChatGPT question says, if Americans can't receive food stamps starting in November and it continues, what could this lead to? And it went into, you know, many different things, impact on families, food banks will be hurt and empty, economic ripple effects, health and crime consequences, and social unrest. And they gave a little timeline. You know, so really within weeks, honestly, within weeks, all things could really happen. It said, especially months. So it says summary, within weeks, a hunger crisis, and within months, local economic slowdown, rising poverty, and social instability. Come on, man. So yeah,
you always speak about, you know, a woman in travail. You know, you go into that. That's almost that's almost a resident precept too. You know, as the day of the Lord shall come as a woman in travail, loosely paraphrasing. But yeah, it's like the tsunami. It don't look like nothing in the ocean, right? And that was us. We're saying this 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. The apostles, you go all the way back, head apostle Tahar, 40 years. It don't look like nothing, you know? That tsunami is out in the ocean, but once it get close to the shore, now you're looking at a whole goddamn wall of water. That's where we are. It's about to crash. If things don't crash slow, it crashes all of a sudden. And that's that one, when that water breaks, it's on. It don't break slow and start with a little leak. I mean, it might have a little leak, but it's gonna burst. That's why they say my water broke.
Mm-hmm. My water leaked out.
Right, they don't say that. Nobody ever said, man, my water leaked. Right. But yeah, brother, that's right. But yeah, that's what we are. Now Jake is looking at a 100-foot wall of water. And how you gonna stop it? No, you should have prepared, you know. But yeah, you got it, brother.
That is it, and that's why I said the enemy go coming like a flood, man. So
yep, and that's I was thinking about that. Yes, sir. ICE and now the National Guard is coming in on you like a flood. Exactly right.
I think it was that movie, like early 2000s, and it was LL Cool J, Deep Blue Sea, and it was looking at that shark, had it behind the glass.
Yeah, with them sharks, yeah.
Big shark. And as they was looking at the glass at an instant, man, that water came and the shark was right there where it was within seconds. But hey, that what it mean about coming in like a flood, man. Breaking.
Right. That's when Samuel L. Jackson got fucked up.
yeah.
When that water bust in there, yeah. And that shark had grabbed him. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I remember that. That was around 2000. Yeah.
But no, that's it though. That's it.
You can take it on that.
Conway, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. And with that, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory once again unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all you walking out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe on the gospel and keep fighting, keep pushing. And the water I can for the precepts on the comment board, so like when we get a chance to read them. The water for tuning in as well to everybody else. And with that, shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.